Hello, I am Park Jin-woo, participating in the exhibition of young Korean artists, Hidden Brushstrokes, at the Korean Cultural Center in Poland. My works are mainly based on East Asian traditional materials of calligraphy and painting. That is, a brush, an ink stick, an inkstone, and paper. On the screen, you can see some of my works. I'm very glad to have a chance to introduce ink wash painting to you. In this session, I would first like to introduce you what ink wash painting is. And then, we will look at the materials that have been used for calligraphy and paintings for a long time in Korea. Lastly, I will demonstrate some letters and images to enhance your understanding. Unlike Western oil paintings, which focuses more on colorings, ink wash painting is painted almost only with ink. Sometimes, little light colors are also added. Ink wash painting in East Asia can be largely divided into two types. One is a painting rendered only with lines, and the other is a painting using lines and wet on wet technique. 김명국's 닮아도 is one of the representative ink wash paintings, which focuses on lines. He drew the face of Dharma, the core person in Zen, with a few lines only. Jung-sun used both ink lines and wet on an effect in his painting titled Clearing After Raining Inwangsan Mountain. He drew the rocky Inwangsan Mountain by controlling density of ink. This painting vividly represents the moistened atmosphere of Inwangsan after the rainy season. In Western culture, tools used for writing and painting are distinct, such as a pen and a brush, respectively. In East Asia, on the other hand, writing and painting tools have long been the same. It's a brush. In East Asian culture, people use brush for writing and also for painting. This is why not only professional painters but many scholars also produced great paintings. What you can see on the screen is 세한도, which is also known as winter scene. This painting was not produced by a professional painter. In fact, it was created by Kim Jung-hee, who was a renowned literatist in the 19th century in Joseon, Korea. He painted and wrote an inscription on this work only with ink. Now, let's talk about the instruments for writing and painting. The four items, a brush, an ink stick, an inkstone, and paper, are indispensable tools for painters as well as scholars. These four essential tools are also called the four treasures of the study or the four friends of scholars. Take a look at these different types of brushes. You can see many brushes here. Brushes are made from animal hair. The animal hair for making brush is gathered when animal's hair is most glossy. Brushes can be divided into three types. First, white sheep hair brush. Second, yellow hair brush made from weasels, mountain horses, badgers, etc. Lastly, special brush made of bamboo or bird feathers and rice stalk, among others. The sheep hair brush is very soft, as you can see. It is used to express the learning script, cursive script in writing, and soft lines in painting. On the other hand, the yellow hairbrush is stiff and elastic. It is used to express a strong impression. The special brush is made of unusual materials and used for creating expressions that are unique. You can also categorize the brushes by their sizes, large and small. You have to carefully select a brush according to its need and purpose. Next, let's look at the ink stick. It is clearly distinguished from Western pigment. An ink stick is solid, but when you grind it with water on an inkstone, it turns into a liquid form. It changes again into a solid permanently after you paint it on paper. Traditionally, ink stick is made by mixing carbon-based ingredients such as soot made of pine and oil, adhesive, and aroma. A subtle difference in the colors of ink stick occurs due to the main ingredient, soot. The color of ink is easily said to be black, but it has a very intense and subtle color. Therefore, the color of ink has been called the mystery of mysteries since ancient times. This is my work titled The Other. What you can see on your left is work made by pine soot-based ink stick. On your right, there is the work made by oil soot-based ink sticks. It's subtle, but there is difference in color. Let's take a look at the ink sticks. There are various types and different shapes. There is a clear difference in the color of the surface between pine soot-based and oil soot-based ink sticks. Oil soot-based ink sticks are more lustrous than pine soot-based ones. Some of my rubbing works focus on such visual and figurative formations of the ink sticks. An inkstone is usually made from stone. In addition to stone, inkstones are made in ceramics, earthenware, and also from hardwood and jade. Inkstones are mostly made in a rectangular shape, but they are also made in various shapes with various decorations. This is a replica of stoneware inkstone from the 8th century Silla Kingdom, Korea. In Korea, inkstones made from the stone found in the regions of Wiwon, Danyang, and Nampo are famous. A good inkstone is the one where the ink particles are ground small and the ink can be kept long without evaporating. Paper is made from wood fibers. As to the quality of the material, paper is different from canvas, which is made out of fabric. These main ingredients of paper are various wood fibers from mulberry, bamboo, and so on. Korean paper hanji is made of mulberry pulp, and hanji is famous for its extreme durability. Hanji could also be dyed. Each type of the paper differed in thickness and the ink smearing effect. It is important to try different types of paper and choose the one that best suits your intention. I'll grind the ink stick on inkstone. In order to control the thickness of ink, it is good to drip water bit by bit rather than pour it all at once. It is better to hold small pieces of ink stick like this. And hold large pieces like this. There is no correct or right way to hold the ink sticks. Please feel free to hold the ink stick as you like. Let's grind the ink stick in one direction and at a constant speed. Listen carefully to the grinding sound. Relax your mind, forget your worldly thoughts, and focus only on grinding. This simple action can give you inner peace, close to meditation. Make sure to dry moisture from the ink stick with paper after grinding. The ink stick is most vulnerable to moisture. If you leave the ink on the ink stick, you may experience difficulties in using it next time due to the impurities stuck on the ink stick. Now, I'm gonna coat the brush with ink. Adjusting the thickness of ink is important. If it is thin, you should grind the ink stick more. If it is thick, you should add more water. Place the paper weight on the paper so that the paper doesn't move. There are many ways to hold the brush. When you write small letters, hold the brush like you hold the pencil. For medium-sized writing, hold it like this way. For large letters, you put your hand off on the table when writing. When drawing, you can hold the brush more freely. Should we write some letters in Korean? A few days ago, it was Hangul Proclamation Day, 한글날. Let me write the letter Hangul and Sejong, who invented Hangul. Now, I'm gonna draw some lines and images. We have learned about the materials for traditional Korean calligraphy and painting and practiced using them. I hope that we will soon be COVID-19 free and meet you in person in Poland. Thank you.